What's the biggest challenge the country is facing? Republicans and Democrats may differ on that answer, but the majority of Americans believe that inflation is the most pressing issue facing the country. A new Pew survey finds 93% of Americans agree that inflation is a problem, while 70% believe it's a very big problem in the country. Inflation seems to be a higher concern for Republicans than Democrats. Democrats are more concerned about guns, affordable health care, and climate change. Republicans' biggest concerns are inflation and illegal immigration. Inflation remains near a 40-year high, and getting it under control won't be easy, says Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. The state of the economy is putting many household budgets in a vice. Record high gas prices are forcing Americans to cut spending in different places. The cost of living for most Americans has increased tremendously over the past year. Some experts say that the Consumer Price Index released yesterday doesn't tell the whole story when it comes to true inflation. Here to discuss, we have Ohio Congressman Bill Johnson. Congressman Bill Johnson, thank you so much for joining us on the Capitol Report again.
Thank you very much. Good to be with you today.
Congressman, some say that the 8.3% inflation number is a bit deceiving, with so many essentials increasing 20 to 30%, from food to airline tickets, of course, gas prices. Is there any end in sight to all of this?
Well, I certainly don't see an end in sight unless the Biden administration reverses course. There's two primary reasons that inflation is going through the roof. One, of course, is the massive amounts of money that the Biden administration has put into the system. Anytime there is this much cash, this many dollars floating around in our economy, it devalues the dollar. Things that you pay $1 for today, you're going to pay $2 and $3 for tomorrow, because there's simply so much cash in the system. We can't continue that kind of reckless spending. And the other issue is energy. I mean, energy is at the center of much of this inflation problem. It takes energy to produce products. It takes energy to get products to market. It takes energy to fuel your car, to get back and forth to work or to the hospital or wherever you're going. It takes energy to run our businesses, to heat and cool and cook our food at home. I mean, energy is at the forefront of this, and the Biden administration's policies have made us no longer energy independent and dependent upon countries like Venezuela and Iran, and even until a few weeks ago, Russia, for our energy resources. That's crazy. He needs to reverse course if he wants to solve this inflation problem.
Congressman, it's looking very, very likely that the Republicans will take at least the House of Representatives, the majority. How much do you think, if that does happen, you guys will be able to actually get done with a lame duck president?
Well, I mean, I think at the end of the day, if the House and the Senate, Lord willing, if the Senate also flips, the Biden administration is going to have to work with Congress. He's tried his radical left agenda towards socialism and the Green New Deal and everything else that you can imagine that's created crisis after crisis after crisis. But if he has to work with the Republican majority in both the House and the Senate, I'm optimistic that we'll be able to actually get some things done. Certainly put a check on his administration's reckless policies, but there are even Democrats here that know that we're heading in the wrong direction. You know, I'm a member of the Problem Solvers Caucus, and these are both Republicans and Democrats that have a common belief that we should be putting America first. And so I think there is optimism if we can get both chambers of the Congress.
We always like to take a little bit of a straw poll. What have you been hearing from your people in the 6th District of Ohio with regard to the economy?
Inflation is the number one topic on everybody's lips. I mean, there are a lot of concerns, obviously. When you look at the crises that are out there, we've got obviously the inflation crisis, the border crisis, the energy crisis, the crisis now with food shortages, the national security crisis, the crime crisis. It seems like every time you turn the corner, the Biden administration has created another crisis. But clearly, the most important issue to the people that I represent are the skyrocketing cost of gasoline at the pump and the skyrocketing cost of groceries and the availability of products, including groceries, on the shelves. That's a big, big concern.
Congressman Bill Johnson, thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, my friend.
Elon Musk's Twitter deal is on hold. The billionaire tech mogul says he's waiting for confirmation that bots or fake accounts make up only less than 5% of users. In a recent filing, Twitter estimated that false or spam accounts represented fewer than 5% of its monetizable daily active users during the first quarter. That estimate comes from Twitter's own internal review. Musk stated on Twitter that he's still committed to the acquisition. Actual user numbers could affect the valuation of the company. The crisis on the southern border is alarming both Democrats and Republicans. The border state of Arizona is a hotspot for illegal crossings. Andrew Gould was an Arizona Supreme Court judge and is running for the state's attorney general position. We had a chance to speak to him about how to turn around the massive flow of illegal immigration. And he also weighs in on the Supreme Court protests. Here's a look. Andrew Gould, thank you so much for joining us in the Capitol Report.
Thank you, Steve.
Andrew, if you get elected as Arizona's next Attorney General, what steps would you take to secure the border?
We need to approach it from a state law perspective. I have a plan for a no trespassing zone, and it's very simple. We simply enforce our state laws on state and private land where we have jurisdiction. Supreme Court has said that we don't have authority to enforce federal immigration laws, but we do have authority to enforce our criminal laws. I've spoken to sheriffs throughout the state. I was a prosecutor and judge on the border in Yuma for many, many years. And there's pinch points where the caravans and the cartels come across where they first enter on state and private land. We're doing this on a small scale, but we need to expand it. We have cameras, drones, patrols. When they first step on state land, we arrest for trespass, and then we search incident to arrest. We have authority to do that. We seize the guns, the drugs, the fentanyl, and for the cartel members who are drug trafficking, human trafficking, we use that evidence to prosecute them. For the people that are coming into the country illegally, we then arrest them for a variety of crimes, including trespass, disorderly conduct, possessing forged documents, criminal damage. Some of those are misdemeanors, some of them are felonies. And we take those people that we arrest and put them in two groups. The first group are people who have been removed before or have a prior conviction for illegal entry. We give them prison sentences. And then the other group, which is going to be the largest group, we give them a plea offer. You can go to prison, or we can put you on an undesignated offense, which is a technical term, but it allows you to earn a misdemeanor if you successfully complete probation, with two conditions: obey all laws and voluntarily return to Mexico.
Now, I just want to switch gears here a little bit and ask you, as a former Supreme Court judge in Arizona, just to get your thoughts on what we're seeing play out with these protests at the Supreme Court justices' homes on the federal level. Where is the line between exercising your First Amendment right to protest and breaking the law?
This has gone way past the line. Let me tell you, I was a judge in our state Supreme Court. You have to be able to sit and reflect and think and discuss cases with your colleagues. Going to the homes of justices and threatening them, that's gone way beyond the right of protest. I've been through this. I've made decisions where I've received protests. We made a decision in Arizona, or we had to leave the courthouse early on many occasions, but those were always after the decision was issued. This is before. And there's no question that it's an attempt to influence those justices and change the decision. This is an assault on an institution. It's had its faults, but we have all respected. And now I fear, Steve, this has done irreparable harm to that court. I can't imagine being a judge on probably the biggest case of our time, having people come out threatening you, coming to your house, intimidating your family, trying to get you to change your vote. I'm telling you, it makes me so angry to see this. It's just a destruction. It's the idea that If you don't like what a court is doing or the police are doing because you don't like the agenda that it's pushing or the result, you just attack the institution and destroy it.
Andrew Gould, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Steve.
Hey there, I'm Steve Lance, host of NTD's Capitol Report. I just want to thank you for watching. Unfortunately, due to big tech censorship, we're being forced to find alternative ways to bring you the truth. To catch our episodes with unfiltered content, meet us over at epochtv.com, where we can bring you the unfiltered, unedited truth.